the Paula Deen scandal goes, I am aware of it, and my basic opinion on it really is that it wasn't a slip of the tongue. This is something that she's been doing for years and something that she's developed into a habit. And if it's a habit, that means that it's in your heart, and I think that you believe it. And what she has to understand is that when you're in a position like her where everyone is watching, there are a lot of benefits and there are a lot of cons as well. And when you say something like that, you're gonna end up having to pay the price, and she has.
As far as the Paula Deen scandal goes, I know some of the information about it. I'm not exactly an expert on what's going on with it, but my opinion on it is, there's all these different views and points about, whether it's relevant now as far as like the things that have been said in the past from Paula Deen and all the things around her. But at the end of the day, like, this is a person that is perceived and is seen as someone who is racist, almost on a level that she's almost, to put it bluntly, ignorant of how racist she can be. And no one wants that to be a part of, any part of their company or anything like that. So I will go with what, companies going against her, saying that, they don't want her a part of that. And that makes sense to me, as far as like people saying, oh, we should just drop it and everything like that. Like, no, people should still be held accountable for what they say, and there are repercussions for what people do.
As far as the Paula Deen scandal goes, I haven't been following it a whole lot. The only instance that I saw was when she, said what she said during the bank robbery. I mean, that's not an excuse, but I don't know. But that's the only time that I saw that she actually said it, so I'm sure she probably did in her personal life. But the proven time, as far as everybody dropping her, I get it and I don't get it. I get that people want to distance themselves. Like, obviously companies don't want to be associated with somebody, even if they do one little thing wrong. I mean, that's just the name of the game. You can't hold on to somebody if something comes out. Even if it was 100 years ago, they're still gonna try to distance themselves from any bad PR. So I don't think they're in the wrong at all doing that. What I think is a little wild is that the media is like just blown it up so much. I mean it is a kind of a juicy story, but it's just interesting to see the power of the media. And if all the outlets kind of jump on one thing and have a certain sway to their story, that they can get the whole country behind it if they really try.
And as far as the Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin case goes, as far as I know, I don't know as much about the case as I should, but as far as I know, the kid was armed with Skittles, and he was in a neighborhood where Zimmerman didn't think he belonged. I don't think there's any question that there was some prejudice involved, and he shot the kid really with no basis to do so, because he was wearing a hoodie, and he looked to Zimmerman as though he was about to commit some kind of crime. And to be honest, Zimmerman had no basis on that. And I think Zimmerman is going to get convicted, as he should. And that's all I have.
As far as the Trayvon Martin Zimmerman trial, I've been following it, I'd say probably a little bit more closely than maybe like the average person. I'd say after seeing some of like the evidence and the testimonies, it is harder to say, when the media again portrays, when it first happened, they portrayed it as like, he killed this young man, and it's just like, obviously he's going to get a conviction. But then when you see like the actual trial and like some of the evidence, it's like, there's a good chance that he could get off, just because, they have a lack of evidence, and evidence in support of Zimmerman showing that, there could be cause for, not absolute, there's reasonable doubt, basically. And when there's reasonable doubt in trial, you can't obviously convict somebody. But, I don't think, my personal opinion would be that he probably needs to go to jail. I mean, even if, whatever, he confronted him and then Trayvon Martin attacked him, you still, to shoot somebody, come on, you're like twice their size. It was dumb.
As far as the Trayvon Martin Zimmerman case, I have not been following that as closely as I would have liked to, but I have studied a little bit of law myself personally, and I know how trials can go. And it is a big part of the case when you go into the scope of the character of, the assailant and the defendant in, the matter. But at the end of the day, like when people bring up, Trayvon Martin's purported, drug habits or his character and trying to put it in a negative light, the big question that has to still be answered is, this man, Zimmerman, has shot someone, and should he get away with it? Almost with no sort of, background to it, and bearing to Trayvon Martin being some sort of danger to society. It was all just because he was wearing a hoodie and looked suspicious because he was a black man, in my opinion.